Can you see the screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is what I was talking about. Okay. Yeah, and few more details which I have, the notepad which you are looking at there, I have mentioned few more steps. I'm going to share it with you. Those are just rough notes, right? So few things which we need to consider, and one task also I have for you guys, that you should backup and restore an encrypted VM. We saw the backup and restore of a basic VM, and we in separately we discussed encryption also, right? And here I want you to backup and restore an encrypted VM. This would be your homework. I'll send it to you, right? So I was talking about this one. Now I hope you guys can see the screen, right? So when it comes to ASR or replication, this is how it looks. There is some error here. I'll have to check. Cache storage account not reachable. Not sure why. We'll see that. Okay. So if it looks healthy, which means your application is working, protected, which means till now it has been completed successfully. What is the last time it was synced? Right, so it's today at 1:55 p.m. hardly 4 minutes ago. This was synced, and maybe there was no change after that in my machine. And once we do this, I'll show it to you कि वो replication होने के बाद भी एक final synchronization और लेता है. So minimum data loss जो है आपका होता है. Configuration issue, there are no issues. Agent version, this is the version. Sometimes this is one of the support questions, that my replication is not working, so what will you do? You'll always go ahead and check if the agent version is up to date or not. If here some update is available, you'll do that. Agent status is healthy, that is fine. There is one warning which says last successful test failover. So before we do the actual failover, it is always recommended to do the failover in every 180 days. I'm not sure if it is written here or not, but Microsoft recommends test failover in 180 days, every 180 days. So you should keep on doing this in every 180 days. ऐसे नहीं होना चाहिए कि आप बैठे हो आराम से, क्या replication मैंने set कर रखा है, and when actual time comes for the replication, it is not working. And you will come to know at that time only, because you never tried that. So that should not happen. That is the reason, that is the logic behind it, that Microsoft suggests that in every 180 days, try your replication. We are going to do that in detail. I'm still waiting for others to join. I'm just revising what we have done. So if you guys remember, I told you one cache storage count will be done. This is my source machine, Central India, right? Source machine से जो है यहाँ पर sync हो रही है, machine का disk यहाँ पर sync हो रहा है. Okay. Other things maybe they are going directly, like VNet and everything, they're going directly. But disk, the actual data, that is going from here, from the cache network, which is in the same region. So it's easier to copy from here, and I'll later on then it copies the storage account directly on your DR side. In our case, it was East US we selected. Okay. One question, guys. When it comes to replication, my machine is in Central India, and now I want to replicate. So do I have any technical limitations, that which region can I select for East India? I'm talking about virtual machines ASR. Do I have any technical limitations, that which region I can select? Yes, guys. Yes, no, maybe कुछ याद आ रहा है. Amit, Asif, Hussein, Murtaza, Nelson, Yusuf bhai, Salman bhai.
No,
Sorry, what was that? Nelson, couldn't hear you. Yes, guys. Do I have any limitation that from Central India, can I sync it anywhere, or there are some regions where I can sync?
Well, why there is no limitation,
I guess so.
think,
You should
but
be able to sync it anywhere.
Right. There are no limitations. But what are the recommendations? Similar questions, same questions, same question on storage account. Then what would be your answer? First tell me that, and then I'll get the scenario. Same question, I want to
there is a
replicate.
limit.
Yeah, what
In
is the
storage, there is
limitation?
a limitation. Yeah, the paired region.
Perfect. Correct answer, right? But here we do not have any limitation. But what is the recommendation? That you should use the paired region. That if my original site is in East US, it is recommended that for failover or for replication use West US. Why? Because जो paired region बना रखा है ना इन्होंने, ऐसा random paired region नहीं बोल रखा है इसको. If I go to storage and look at this, the paired storage regions line, and I have told you guys, right, this is just for your understanding. We have a complete huge list available on Microsoft, and sometimes they make some changes. Paired region में भी changes होते हैं. So never trust on this data, never rely on this data. You can trust but never rely on this data. Always go ahead and check Microsoft's website for latest data. This is just for example. सिर्फ 6 के paired region नहीं, हर region का paired region है. List you will get it on the Azure website. सो ईस्ट यूएस और वेस्ट यूएस कोई रैंडम बेस पे नहीं बोला है माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ने, राइट? ऐसा नहीं किया चलो यार साउंड्स गुड, ईस्ट वेस्ट अच्छा साउंड कर रहा है दे दो, जापान ईस्ट वेस्ट अच्छा साउंड कर रहा है, लेट्स मेक देम पेयर्ड रीजन, और जस्ट बिकॉज वन ऑफ देयर इंजीनियर्स थॉट यार सेंट्रल इंडिया और साउथ इंडियन थोड़ा बढ़िया साउंड कर रहा है, लेट्स डू इट. नो, दैट इज नॉट द रीजन. द रीजन बिहाइंड इट दैट they have a heavy network cabling between these two region. जो normal region के बीच में let's say कि अगर they are not exactly using these categories, but I'm just giving you an example. There's let's say कि ईस्ट यूएस और जापान वेस्ट के बीच में अगर कैटेगरी 5 का केबलिंग यूज कर रहे हैं ना, वो तो ईस्ट और वेस्ट के बीच में कैट 6 का ये करेंगे, जिससे आपका परफॉर्मेंस एनहांसमेंट हो जाएगा काफी हद तक, जो है डेटा फास्ट ये करेगा. but these are not the exactly categories which they are using, guys. Okay, these categories which I just quoted, cat 6 and cat 5, ये हमारे internal network के काम में आते हैं. Azure, I'm sure they are using fiber optic. Fiber optic में किस तरह के categories है, I don't know, and we don't even have to know that. Sorry. Moreover, Azure doesn't share that information. What Azure promises that if you select these paired region, data synchronization will be fast, data transfer will be fast. So when it comes to replication, you do not have any technical limitation, but it is always recommended that you do, if it is in central India, select your paired region or select your replication region as South India. We have done it something else here. हमारे पास कोई खास data भी है नहीं, and it's okay. We didn't have to worry about it. But it is recommended in your uh, production environment. Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Another thing which I asked you guys to, okay, one more question I have. These are interview questions, guys. Okay, so make a note of it. I am not gonna put all the questions here. Understand one thing, please. It is not feasible for me. Here, I can put those questions which companies are asking. I can put those questions which I ask to my interviewers, to my interviews, or which I get in my interviews. Maybe whatever comes to my mind, I can add those here, but not every question I'll be put here. Something which comes to my mind while teaching or while delivering the session, I won't be able to put all those questions here. Though I'm making another list also, right? Apart from this, we are making this list also, but still there are chances that I might miss on some questions. So when I'm saying that this is an interview question, it is your responsibility to make a note of that. Okay, so one of them was the recommendation. What is the recommendation and what is the technical limitation of ASR? So technical limitation, there is no limitation. You can sync wherever you want as far as it is matching your uh, whichever is your source region is. If it has certain feature, your target region also should have those feature, like availability zone. If you have availability zone here, you will never go ahead and start replicating. You will not be able to start replicating to a zone which doesn't have availability zone, to a region which doesn't have availability zone, right? तो इस तरह के questions आप लोग याद रखो. So I was coming to this one, that this one, let me see if it has backed up first, and then I'll ask my question. One is in progress. I hope one has completed. Okay, great. I have two items, two virtual machines. One of them is basic virtual machine. Another one is encrypted. So a few questions will come to this. I want you to make a note of that, and answer obviously I'll be giving right away, and do the practical. Make a note of the question, and someone wants to do this voluntary, please make a note of the questions and send it in the group, so it will be helpful for others, or I can add it here in this OneNote. If not, you can make a note for yourself, right? Okay, so my question was, guys, before I come to here, this part I'm coming on this one. My question here is, this is my virtual machine. Let me see, 2 virtual machines in same region if I have any. Central India. Okay, great. All these 3 machines. I want to take a backup of this virtual machine. I want to take a backup of this virtual machine. Okay. What do I require? The first thing, not asking about the steps. Backup के लिए क्या चाहिए होगा? Let's say that I go here, I click on backup. Now this machine is already backed up, so maybe you will not see that option. You will not see exactly. But what do we require here uh, to initiate a backup? What do I require here? यहाँ पर क्या आता है सबसे पहले चीज? What does it ask?
Recovery service vault.
Yes, service recovery vault, recovery service vault, RSV, recovery service vault. Perfect. Question here. My machine is in where is it? Which region? I think it's in Central India.
Central India.
Can I have my recovery service vault RSV in South India, East US, or any other region other than Central India for backup? Can I have that?
No.
No.
No, you can.
Central India.
Yeah, who says yes? Let's say this is my virtual machine. It is in Central India. Now I want to back it up. For backup, what I required is RSV, recovery service vault. My question is, do I have to create this recovery service vault in the same region, Central India, or do I have an option for any region? Yes, which statement is correct? Central India or any region?
Central India.
Central India.
All of you have this understanding very clearly, guys? Anyone who has
Yes.
doubt? Okay. Now I have another machine here. This is my VM2. Same region. I want to back up this machine also. Do I have to create another vault or can I use the same?
You can use the same.
Okay. Guys, you guys are taking too long to answer. Anyone has a doubt in this one that you can use the same? Answer is correct. But looking at your silence, are you guys, do you guys have any doubt that you can use the same or not? Yeah, you can use the same, guys. Okay. Now here I have another machine, VM3, Central India. But I do not want backup on this one as of now. What I want here is DR. Can I use the same RSV or not? If yes, how or why? If no, how or why? These are two backup I'm talking about, okay? This is DR, disaster recovery. Well, why do we use DR, by the way, guys? What do you mean by DR? If I ask you to explain DR, how would you explain it in your layman term? Let's say you have to explain it to one of your business owner, not the technical person, not asking jargons now. What is a DR? Who can explain? Yes, guys. Anyone? As if you are not able to explain these basic definitions, trust me, you have to work a lot.
Can I try?
Yeah, please.
So disaster recovery ultimately is a solution for your business continuity.
In case of?
Whenever there is a disaster, in case of any disaster, in case of any regional disaster.
Okay.
So
So
suppose
got
your
it.
region got
So you're promising
yeah.
me that if my region goes down, Central India goes down, my application will still work, right? That's what you're saying. If I go ahead and take DR, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now look at the question and tell me, can I use the same RSV, which is in Central India? You said For VM1, I can have in Central India. For VM2, I can have in same. I can use Central India. Now for DR, can I use the same which is in Central India, or can I create another one in Central India, or can I create anywhere other than Central India? What is the solution here? What do you think? Yes, Saman. If no, where can I create? Do I have to create another one in Central India?
DR has page
Sorry.
just to keep the data safe.
No, sorry, can't hear you. Hussein, your voice is not clear. You can, Salman says you can create anywhere as per their definition. So can I create it in Central India? Let's say that I'm creating one recovery service vault in Central India. Can I do this? And if I can do this, why can't I use the existing one then?
But actually, when we say DR, there's no meaning of creating again a recovery service fault in the same region, because we are trying to give a regional redundancy
Exactly. Yeah,
to
that's the
the
point.
business.
Yes. See, backup, guys, backup helps you to recover from machine level or maybe data center level issues, machine level issue that my machine has crashed. It has some virus. It is not working. After update, Windows is not working. I'm unable to log in. Linux after a file mount or maybe some data point mount, Linux is not working properly. Uh, maybe there are some issues with kernel after an update, right? It could be anything machine related. Maybe that particular machine is not working. That time you are using backup from the same region, simply restore the VM in the same region and you're working. But DR, it comes to picture when your whole region is down. So if this is the DR you're setting up, that your machine is in Central India and you're setting up the DR in Central India, the region goes down. What's the use of it? Whole Central India is down. What's the use of your application? By the way, you will never do this mistake because portal doesn't allow you to create. So creating, uh, establishing or configuring a replication in same region, it's not possible. It will give you one error. Okay, unless you want to do the zone level replication, that is a different thing. Right? Zone level का replication करना आपको, that is a different thing. But you want to do the regional level replication where you're promising that if Central India goes down, still your application will work. So that you cannot do in the same region. It can be any region other than Central India. It can be any region. But what is the recommended region here? Looking at this chart, what do you think is the recommended region for Central India?
South India.
South India, because that is a paired region. That is the reason it is recommended, but it can be anything. In my case, I've created that in East US. Though it's going to take some time for application, but you can create it wherever you want other than Central India. Both source and target region cannot be the same. Is it clear, guys, to everyone? So interview questions, one of the questions, it might come like this, that can I use a same recovery service vault, same RSV, for backup and recovery, or for backup and DR for my machines which are in same region? So can you do that?
No.
Right, you cannot. Okay. Let me see the status of this backup. Right. So let's come back to the. I hope that point is clear. That application point is clear. Yes, guys. Anyone? Yes.
Nelson here. So just to understand this clearly, so the point that you mentioned that if the backup is in
Nelson, your
Central
voice
India,
is
then
not
we
clear. Too much of background noise or maybe
hello,
disturbance.
can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, yes, Nelson. Tell me.
So I have a question. Now you just initially just mentioned that if the backup is in Central India, then the RSP has to be in a different location or same location. I'm I'm a bit confused.
Sorry, Nelson, can't hear you properly. Are you traveling, Nelson? Because I can hear a lot of background noise. Either you can put the question or yeah, just type the question. I'll answer that. Send it in a message. I'll answer that. Yes, guys. Anyone else has any question on this one? On backup, DR, recovery service vault? Anyone who did not understand anything? Okay, if not, let's go ahead and start our practical for the replication. So this machine, I wanted to replicate. This is the machine. So for replication, either you can create a recovery service vault and over there. So if the backup is in central India, then RSV has to. Okay, so I didn't get that, Nelson. Wait, I'll ping. I'll connect with you. So guys, disaster recovery. Okay, I can do it from here, or I can create a RSV and I can do it from there. In this machine, you will see is already there because we have done that once. Yesterday, I show it to you. People who missed, please watch yesterday's recording. We did the synchronization from scratch. How to start that, how to enable that, how will it look, and later on I shared a screenshot also that how will it look once it is done completely. Right. So how does it look? This is how it looks. Okay. Now, what are these options? I already explained it to you. Healthy, what does it mean? Protected, what does it mean? This issue and everything, we have done this. So we can start the failover, right? Now, what is the failover, guys? I hope this is also clear to you, to everyone, right? I did explain this to you. So if anyone has any doubt, please let me know. If not, we'll go ahead and do the failover. Now, what is the failover? Before I do the failover, let me explain it to you. What is failover? Failover is nothing, just a term that when your source region is down and you want to configure your or you want to bring up your application from your target region just for the high availability कि मेरा application चलता रहना चाहिए, that task will be called as failover. So you don't do that because you're doing the failover. That is not the reason कि आपका ये जो है central India down होगा. No, that is not the case. आपका central India region अगर down होता है, that time you will come and you will do the failover. I hope you guys are getting it. Because yesterday I heard a question कि यार इसमें तो इतना downtime चला जाएगा, it will take 1 hour or 2 hours. Someone raised that. That is not happening because you're doing the failover. You're doing the failover because that region is already down, and Microsoft says it might take 10 hours to bring up the region. That is the reason you're doing failover. Failover आप कर रहे हो इसलिए डाउन टाइम नहीं हो रहा. डाउन टाइम ऑलरेडी है वहां पे 10 घंटे का, आप उसको रिड्यूस कर रहे हो 2-4 घंटे में, उसको अप लाने की ट्राई कर रहे हो. Okay, so if your machine, if your region is already down, do you think you will be able to access your virtual machine which is there in central India? Let's say this central India is down. Will I be able to access my machine and go here? What do you think? So it depends, guys. Region failover कोई इस तरह का डिजास्टर या ब्लास्ट वगैरह नहीं होता है कि सब कुछ ही ये हो गया. Sometimes maybe there are only network issue, और अगर network issue है तो connectivity कुछ भी नहीं होगी. Sometimes there are some different issue. तो region failover भी कई तरह का होता है, right? ऐसा नहीं होता कि region failover मतलब सब कुछ ही चला गया. So sometimes you may get an option के machine login नहीं हो रही है, app नहीं चल रहा है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा, but you are able to access these options and you can come here and you can do the failover. This could be the case. But there could be the case कि किसी भी तरह से कुछ एक्सेस ही नहीं हो रहा है. The moment you look for machine, यहाँ पर सेंट्रल इंडिया का कुछ आ ही नहीं रहा है, कुछ भी नहीं दिखेगा आपको जितना भी सेंट्रल इंडिया का था, because सेंट्रल इंडिया region is down, then you will not be able to see anything. So then how do you do the failover? So you go to your recovery service vault. Now coming back to this logic, my machine was in central India, तो मेरा replication DR वाला service vault, is it possible to have it that also in central India? Is there any possibility कि भी दोनों भी central India में ही थे तो दिख ही नहीं रहा है? Is that do we have that possibility, guys?
No, we don't.
Because
No.
वो बनाने ही नहीं देगा आपको. So it is anywhere, it could be anywhere but central India को छोड़ के कहीं पर भी हो सकता है आपका वो. Don't look at this vault, this is for the backup. Okay, we are talking about this temp vault. Temp वाला vault जो है मेरा, this is for our DR. So look at this, where is it? It is in East US. तो अगर मेरा सेंट्रल इंडिया पूरी तरह से डाउन है रीजन जहां कुछ दिखाई भी नहीं दे रहा मुझको, I can still go ahead, I can come to this vault and I can click here under site recovery. I can do that from the machine also if that is accessible, and I can come here and I can see it. यहाँ पर कितने मेरे machines है, कौन कौन से, and here I will see it. Even if the location was central India, I will see it something like this. कि इसी तरह से मुझको कुछ दिखाई देगा, and I can click on this and it will take me to the same screen जो मैं machine से जा रहा था, right? So this is the same screen we are looking at. Now you simply have to click on failover and that should be done. But before we do the failover, let me show you a test failover. What is a test failover? I told you what is a test failover. It is a recommended act which Microsoft recommends in every 180 days. कि आप लोग यार टेस्ट करते रहो फेलोवर को. ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि सडनली देयर इज सम डिजास्टर और आप 2 साल बाद देख रहे हो. डिजास्टर डेली नहीं आता है, कोई 2 4 5 साल में एक बार होता है. एंड दैट टाइम यू नो कि यार कॉन्फ़िगरेशन ही मेरा प्रॉपर नहीं हुआ था. डिजास्टर रिकवरी मैं पे तो कर रहा हूँ, बट just because मेरा configuration proper नहीं हुआ था, it's of no use for me. So that should not happen. That is the reason they keep saying कि आपको test failover करते रहना चाहिए. And look at this last successful test failover. यहाँ पर आपको बताता भी कहाँ पर क्या. In this case we have never performed it. So let's go ahead and do the test failover. What will happen when I do the test failover? Nothing. In the test failover, nothing will happen to my actual machines, but a copy will be replicated in my target region. अब यहाँ पर when I'm saying that I'm replicating my machine, तो इसका मतलब क्या है? If I go to East US, do you think I can see a machine with the same name over there also? अभी as of now, I'm not doing test failover, no failover, no test failover. What do you understand by replication? कि वहां पर भी मुझको एक मशीन दिखेगी? Is that your understanding? या नहीं दिखेगी फिलहाल? If I go to East US, will I see a same machine with this name or no? At this stage, look at this. This is healthy, this is protected, मतलब completely sync हो चुका है. Everything is fine here. So if I go to East US now, will I see a machine with this name? Another machine with this name? Yes, guys. Yes, no. What is your understanding?
yes दिखना चाहिए.
Okay. What about others? Do you guys think दिखनी चाहिए?
Yes भाई दिखना चाहिए because replication तो हो रहा है ना real time पे.
Okay, okay, fine. Good try, but incorrect answer. मशीन बिल्कुल नहीं दिखेगी आपको. रेप्लिकेट हो रहा है, डेफिनेटली रेप्लिकेट हो रहा है. एक मिनट का रेप्लिकेट हो रहा है. इफ यू चेक लास्ट मिनट, 1 मिनट का आरपीओ है सिर्फ हमारा. मतलब 1 मिनट पहले ही जो है ना सब कुछ सिंक हुआ है. सी, यहाँ पर टाइम भी बता रहा है. ये टाइम अलग है, इसका मतलब है कि उस मशीन में कोई एक्टिविटी ही नहीं हुई इसके बाद. सो डेटा बहुत कम लॉस होने वाला है. बट मशीन नहीं दिखेगी आपको. क्यों नहीं दिखेगी? बिकॉज मशीन लिटरली नहीं बनी वहां पर. व्हाट इज अ मशीन? एक मशीन हम बोलते तो है, बट एक्चुअल में मशीन क्या है? व्हाट इज योर मशीन? यस गाइस, व्हाट इज योर मशीन? एक्चुअल में मशीन क्या है? मुझको मशीन यहाँ से वहां करनी है, ये सब करनी है. मशीन मतलब है क्या? बैकअप भी कर रहा हूँ मैं.
Disk, operating
किस
system
चीज
disk
का?
and data.
डिस्क. एग्जैक्टली, ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम का डिस्क, वो है आपकी मशीन. सो यहाँ पर एक मशीन बनी हुई कभी नहीं दिखेगी आपको. ये जो आपकी ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम की डिस्क है ना, ये उसको सिंक करा. बिकॉज इन दिस केस आई हैव ओनली वन डिस्क. मल्टीपल डिस्क हो गया तो उसको भी सिंक कर लेगा. दैट्स अप टू यू. सो ये इस डिस्क को सिंक कर रहा है. मशीन वहां पर नहीं होगी लिटरली. और यही है आपका आरपीओ और आरटीओ वगैरह जो कुछ होता है ना, कि कितना टाइम लगता है अप होने में. सो इस डिस्क से एक मशीन बनेगी. व्हेन वी डू द टेस्ट फेल ओवर, इस डिस्क से एक मशीन बनेगी. वो टाइम उसमें लगता है. लिटरली वहां पर एक मशीन नहीं दिखेगी आपको. नाउ इफ आई गो एंड सर्च फॉर दिस मशीन, यू वोंट सी अ मशीन ओवर हियर, बट अ डिस्क इज देयर जिसमें एग्जैक्टली सब कुछ डेटा है. एंड व्हेन आई डू अ फेल ओवर और अ टेस्ट फेल ओवर, तो इस डिस्क से जो है मशीन बनने लग जाएगी. सो लुक एट दिस नाउ हाउ इट वर्क्स. Test failover, I click here. First it is checking whether it can be performed or not. ठीक है. Now look at this. I have some point. यहाँ पर multiple points दिखेंगे मुझको. ठीक है, मल्टीपल पॉइंट्स दिखेंगे मुझको जितना पुराना रेप्लिकेशन होगा। माइन इज जस्ट न्यू, तो 2 ही पॉइंट दिख रहे हैं यहाँ पर। 24 आवर्स के मल्टीपल पॉइंट्स आपको यहाँ पर दिख सकते हैं, विच एवर यू वांट टू सेलेक्ट, बट in most cases we select the latest one and see I am syncing only one disk out of 2. मेरा एक data disk भी I'm not syncing that, I'm just worried about my OS. ठीक है, then I have to select one virtual network. Now look at this, my virtual network's name was UT-Kloud-India-VNet. That was my virtual network's name. But this one, because when I'm doing the synchronization or replication में करता हूँ ना, तो सिर्फ डिस्क जो है वो नहीं सिंक हो रहा है, साथ में कई और चीजें भी सिंक होती है। लेट मी शो इट टू यू। आपका रिसोर्स ग्रुप जो है वो भी सिंक हो जाता है, पूरा का पूरा सेम एक रिसोर्स ग्रुप बनेगा, बस हाइफन ASR सबके सामने रहेगा। सो लेट मी शो इट टू यू कि जब हम सिंक्रोनाइजेशन हमने किया है क्या क्या सिंक हुआ है। हियर इफ यू सी, देखिए ईस्ट इंडिया में सेम कॉपी बन रहा है वॉट एवर आई हैव हियर इन माई सेंट्रल इंडिया, ये मेरा एक्चुअल वाला है। लुक एट दिस, सेम नेम, बस ईस्ट US जो है ये आ गया। Let me open this in a duplicate tab and you will be able to see it. This is my actual one, original जो मेरा resource group है वो ही। और by the way resource group को replicate नहीं कर रहा होगा इस, okay? I mean complete resource group में I can have n number of resources other than this virtual machine, मेरे पास और दूसरे भी resources हो गए, सबको नहीं कर रहा है। इस रिसोर्स ग्रुप को, पूरे ग्रुप को ये कर रहा है रेप्लिकेट, और ग्रुप में मशीन से रिलेटेड जो चीजें हैं उनको करता है। उसमें भी 2-4 चीजें नहीं करता है, फॉर एग्जांपल NSG को नहीं करता है। I'll show it to you it. So this is my actual virtual machine जिसको मैं, this is the machine जिसको मैं replicate कर रहा हूँ, and this is the copy of that. So look at this, it copied the disk, मशीन को नहीं कॉपी किया, ठीक है, रेप्लिकेट मशीन को नहीं किया, बट इस मशीन की जो डिस्क है ना, इस डिस्क को रेप्लिकेट कर लिया यहाँ पर। ठीक है, दिस नाम से भी आपको पता चलेगा, डेट वगैरह वो सब होगा, और ये यहाँ पर सारी डिटेल्स होती है। वर्चुअल नेटवर्क को इसने कॉपी कर लिया यहाँ पर। ठीक है, दिस इज माय वर्चुअल नेटवर्क, वर्चुअल नेटवर्क को कॉपी कर लिया, बट NSG कॉपी नहीं हुआ है, IP कॉपी नहीं हुआ है। राइट, सो देयर आर सम थिंग्स व्हिच आर नॉट कॉपीड। इन्हीं सब चीजों के लिए जो है आपको अप लाने में टाइम होता है। एक्चुअल एनवायरनमेंट में आप ये सब मैन्युअली नहीं करते हो, स्क्रिप्ट्स वगैरह बनी होती है, ऑटोमेशन होता है कि जैसे ही ये डाउन हुआ हम इसका फेलोवर यहाँ स्टार्ट करते हैं और 2-4 स्क्रिप्ट रन करते हैं, NSG वगैरह एग्जैक्ट उसी तरह का NSG वगैरह सब कुछ यहाँ पर बन के इनसे अटैच भी हो जाता है, पूरी डिटेल स्क्रिप्ट होती है, और ये सब सपोर्ट का काम है, सो यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट इट, बट आई एम शोइंग इट टू यू कि हाउ इट वर्क्स। राइट, सो लेट्स गो बैक हियर टू, where is it here, test failover. So I selected this, okay, I'm going ahead and clicking in test failover. It has started, अब वो test failover कर लेगा। While doing the test failover, it's not going to touch or do anything to my actual machine. मेरे actual machine का ना performance रुकेगा, ना shutdown होगा, ना restart होगा, एक fraction of second का भी issue नहीं आएगा उसमें, right? Because क्यों? It is creating a machine from here. यहाँ पर जो भी copy है, and whenever this whenever you do a test failover or the planned failover is a part of your migration. I told you Azure migrate आने से पहले हम ASR से करते थे, that is your planned failover. So whenever you do a test failover or a planned failover जहां पे आपका source region up and running है, तो यहाँ पर अगर 1 मिनट का भी गैप है ना, ये भी कवर हो जाएगा, because before it does the actual failover एक और last time sync जो होता है ना, वो it is called final recovery sync, that is the term it uses. So they can ask you also कि भाई final recovery sync क्या होता है? So it does a final recovery sync in case of planned failover. Test failover भी planned होता है, और कई बार हम अगर migrate वगैरह करना तब भी हम failover करते थे पहले, अभी तो हमारे पास Azure resource mover भी है और ये भी है, so we don't do that. But in any planned failover आपके पास डेटा बिल्कुल भी नहीं जाएगा। ये डेटा, ये जो लॉस हो रहा है ये कब होगा? when your सोर्स रीजन इज डाउन, और तब आप यहाँ से फेल ओवर कर रहे हो, तब भी वो एक ट्राई करता है फेल ओवर करने की, बट आपका रीजन ही डाउन पड़ा हुआ है, सो देयर इज नो वे। ये गाइस वी विल टेक अ ब्रेक ऑफ 5 or 10 minutes, इसको टाइम लगता है, सो आई विल पिंग यू इन द ग्रुप, दैट टाइम यू कैन जॉइन यूजिंग द सेम लिंक। meanwhile please go through this, if you have any questions ask me, तब भी अप नहीं होता ये, तो विल do the question answer session तब तक, ठीक है? I'll ping you when to join, stopping the session now.